Surprise! Dun, dun, dun. Surprise! I'm actually here on Sunday night. Um, Successful series. Let me dial it in. Welcome back to .NET Phillies. Did not expect to be recording this now, but the game kind of sped up a little quicker than I thought. And the game kind of went exactly how I expected it to. The game's not technically over, but it is, but it isn't, but it is. So I just decided to record now because why not? So welcome back to .NET Phillies. We're going to be talking about a few things. There's a few headlines that we have that we didn't talk about, that kind of unraveled. And then we're going to go over the series that the Phillies had in Houston, the House of Horrors, as I've called it. For the first time since that painful World Series game, the Phillies went in there and took 2 out of 3, which is pretty good, considering. So, and I really, God, I pray that, I am very much preemptively recording this, assuming the Phillies are going to lose tonight. It just feels like one of those games, but it's 4-3 and it's almost 10 o'clock at night. And I decided, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. So if I'm looking over here, if I am looking over here, it's because I have my phone plugged in and I have live updates going on right now. So if by any chance you see me looking down, that's why. Any Hoosers, there you go, Aiden. Some headlines to go over. I kind of want to save the best one for last. So we have, unfortunately, Christian Pache is headed to the IL with a right meniscus tear. He's getting surgery on tomorrow. That is a huge blow to the Phillies, which is something I didn't think I'd be saying a couple weeks ago. Pache has been playing extremely well. He's hitting well over 300. He's playing elite defense. And it just kind of sucks because everything was finally starting to click for the guy. He was becoming a more valuable asset, a guy that you could plug out in left field and have Schwarber be the DH. Or, if you still don't want Brandon Marsh going up against lefties, he's not as much of a liability at the plate as he was when they were doing that platoon with Marsh and Pache. So that kind of sucks. The Phillies recalled Dalton Guthrie, who's been hitting the ball pretty well and has, been fine up in the major league in very, very limited action. It just kind of sucks. I hope we see Christian Pache again. I think the recovery is 4 to 6 months for an injury like that. So it wouldn't be until the end of the season if we do see him again. Kind of sucks, but who knows? We could see him sooner, maybe. I don't know. Really, really sucks and not good. Taijuan Walker, we talked about in the last podcast, left his start with an injury. Rob Thompson said that everything is fine. He's expected to make his start tomorrow in Los Angeles against the Dodgers. They said it was very precautionary. They said that right after the game. They said that we took him out because we just wanted to make sure that it didn't become anything serious. So now we know, and everything's fine. He's expected to make his next start and not a hiccup. So that's very, very good news. Ranger Suarez made his first rehab start. He pitched 2 innings, 1 hit, 1 walk, and a strikeout. Apparently, they were saying he was topping out at 95, which is huge, especially from a guy who hasn't seen live batters in a little while. It's good that his velocity is still there. The Phillies are said that they're probably going to send him out for another 3 or so starts and try to ramp him up to between 80 and 100 pitches by the time he gets back. So maybe that Matt Strahm piggyback won't be implemented as we thought initially. So it's good to see that the Phillies are starting to finally get healthier. And speaking of healthy, Bryce Harper could be playing baseball for the Philadelphia Phillies Tuesday. Bryce Harper could be in the starting lineup Tuesday. What? We thought he was going to be out until July, and then we thought, maybe June, maybe the end of May. Now we're looking at the beginning of May. Hold on, what's going on? I'm going to live update. Professional here. Never mind. Just kidding. Or wait, hold on. Okay. Never mind. Sorry, I thought we were getting an update. Unprofessional. Yeah, Bryce Harper could be coming back Tuesday. Has that meeting on Monday with the doctor, and if he's cleared, they said on the broadcast tonight that it's the head first slide. If he gets cleared for that, then he's playing as the DH on Tuesday, which is insane, and it just strengthens this lineup. It lengthens this lineup, and obviously, I want everybody to know Bryce Harper is not going to be good for the first month or so when he comes back. I just want everybody to look back on this and be like, oh, Jared was right. He's not going to be good for a little bit. He's seeing live, pitching for the first time in a very long time. He's not going to be that good to start. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but my expectations is he's just going to take a while back to adjust to the game speed, even to the pitch clock. So pump the brakes. Okay. Pump the brakes. So yeah, that's all kind of the headline stuff. I think I might start doing headline stuff to start episodes and then go into the series, and then that I think that might be a good format. Something I'm going to try out. If you guys like it, let me know. If not, you can tell me to go to hell. Anyway, any Hoosers, Phillies, Astros rematch of the World Series in which my heart was ripped out. Game one. Phillies take game one. 3-1. My player of the game, Aaron Nola. Welcome to the season, Aaron. It only took you long enough. You have the first game of a World Series matchup from the previous year. You have the ace of the staff and Aaron Nola on the bump. Tensions are high, high stakes. People want to see it. I'm sure Major League Baseball broadcasted this game for everybody to see, right? Nope. That's adorable. This was on Apple TV. So, no, I did not watch this game. I only had updates of it on my phone, like probably a lot of you did. So, I don't really know all the ins and outs. However, Kyle Schwarber does what he does best. Kyle Schwarber hit a tone-setting home run, as he always does, in the first inning against Valdez, which was awesome to see. And then Jeremy Pena followed it up in the bottom of the first with a solo home run. And I know all the Phillies fans are like, here we go, Nola again. Can't shut it down. You know what he did? He shut you up. And I think the tone setter was defensive wizardry by Nick Castellanos, because when we signed Nick Castellanos, we signed him for his defense, obviously. He robbed Alex Bregman of a home run on a great catch. Kind of did what Adam Hazley did a couple years ago, was kind of play possum, was like, oh, do I have it? And then flicked it out of his glove. He dapped up Christian Pache running into the field. So Nick Castellanos robs Bregman of a home run. So it's 1-1, and it was kind of remained that way. Nola was kind of cruising a little bit, and then Christian Pache hit an RBI double in the fifth to make it 2-1, and that play was the play that with his torn meniscus and his right knee. So kind of, and then Marsh, who replaced him, had an RBI single in the seventh to make it 3-1. And shout out to Jose Abreu for making an absolute boneheaded running mistake. So the Astros had runners on the corners, and there was a little weak dribbler to Alec Boehm at first. And for some reason, no idea why, Jose Abreu decided to break for home, and Boehm threw him out by like 20 feet, which was pretty cool to see. No defensive wizardry from Alec Boehm. But the real story here is Aaron Nola. 8 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, and 6 strikeouts. I think the biggest thing here is the strikeout numbers were up from his last start. 3 hits, 1 earned run, no walks. That's huge for Nola. He was locating. It just felt like it feels like he's back, but not back, if that makes any sense. He's there. Like, he's a guy that I feel like we can rely on now. Different to how he has been throughout, a lot of the starts this season. And it was great to see his past two starts. He's looked really, really good and is stepping in the right direction because we need Nola to be Nola in order for this team to get anywhere and to succeed. So huge to have Nola in those 8 innings. I have in my keynotes, Castellanos is playing out of his mind. He's hitting, he's fielding well, he's cocky, he's running the bases well. Everything that Nick Castellanos is doing has been awesome to see, mostly because he's kind of picking up the offensive slack that I mean, obviously it's you're comparing apples to oranges with Nick Castellanos and Bryce Harper, but I mean, to have a guy who can be a power threat, who can be a cocky player, he's finicky, he's frisky, like, that's huge. It was huge, and especially because you have Trey Turner, who is struggling out of his mind, and Bohm, who's taken a bit of a step back. Stott is still hitting. But especially with those guys struggling, that's the beauty of this lineup is you have guys who can struggle, like a Trey Turner, like Alec Bohm right now. And then you just supplement it with, guys like Real Muto, like, excuse me. Sorry about that. Professional podcaster over here. What was I completely lost my train of thought. But back to on track of this game. Okay, the game just went final. I was right in preemptively recording. Suck it. You had my official statement. Astros fans are the worst in baseball. I don't care about Mets fans. I don't care about, Yankees fans or any of those fans. The Astros fans are the most cocky, most idiotic fans that I have ever seen. I was scrolling through Twitter, and when Christian Pache, injured his knee and he was on the field and, leaving, fans on there were like, oh, he tore his ACL celebrating. And then I had another guy say that they need to drill Nick Castellanos in the head because he's hitting too well. Like, dude, what? Like, shut up. Just shut up, Astros fans. You have 2 World Series championships in the past 6 years. You are literally one of the best run organizations in baseball. Be humble. Be grateful. You could be like the Oakland A's or the Cincinnati Reds, or I could say the Pittsburgh Pirates, but they're a wagon right now. But my point is, be grateful with what you got, because in a second it could be taken away. So there you go. Game 1, great game. Game 2, Phillies 6, Astros 1. My player of the game, another ace, Zach Wheeler. Zach Wheeler went 6 innings, 3 hits, no earned runs, a walk, and 7 strikeouts. Wow. Welcome to the season, Aaron Nola and Zach Wheeler. Great to see those two guys go out and shove against a very, very good Astros team to get kind of a little bit of revenge. Not really, but kind of. There's only so much revenge you can have in April. But it was great to see Wheels out there. He was touching 96, 97 again. It just felt like it was, here's Zach Wheeler. And it was great to see. So in terms of scoring, we had Nick Castellanos hit a solo home run in the 4th, kind of a little pimp job. What more can I say about Nick Castellanos? JT Realmuto had a sac fly in the 4th. You had a bit of an altercation between Zach Wheeler and Martin Maldonado, and Martin Maldonado has quickly become my least favorite player in baseball, because he stinks and acts like he is Shohei. Acts like he is the greatest thing on earth. Tom McCarthy had a fun thing. So let me back up here. So Zach Wheeler, it was a 1-2 count. I think he was trying to throw a curveball over and it hit Maldonado. And Maldonado was chirping at Wheeler like he did it on purpose. And Tom McCarthy said on the broadcast, is like, I think I'm gonna play the clip right now because of just how funny and from the top rope T-Mac was on this. Okay, here we go. Here's the clip.
Taking offense to seriously, you're hitting 136 coming into this game.
So T-Mac from the top rope said you're hitting 136 in this game. Like, get the hell out of here. So then the benches were kind of clearing a little bit, but they were, kind of like whatever. But yeah, Martin Maldonado, get over yourself. And then he killed us tonight. But known power hitter Cody Clemens with the 2-run home run in the 6th to make it 4-0, and then you had Bone with an RBI double and Cave with an RBI single, both in the 8th inning, and then Jeremy Pena, because he's a loser, hits a solo home run in the 8th to make it 6-1. But you got contributions from everybody in this game. You had your big boppers and Castellanos producing. JT, who's been hitting out of his mind these past couple weeks, hitting big spots. And then you had Cody Clemens with the 2-run home run. Bomer is starting to climb out of that hole a little bit. And even Jake Cave having an RBI single in the 8th was huge. That's what's so great about this team and the way Dave Dombrowski has kind of put them together is – you're getting different contributions from different guys almost every night. And that's huge. You can't rely, I always look back to the 2021 season, Bryce Harper's MVP year, because it was literally Bryce Harper and that was it. Rhys Hoskins was terrible in the second half of 2021. You didn't have Schwarber. You didn't have Casty. God, who else was on that team? You had Ronald Perez playing a lot of those games for no reason. Brad Miller was a big listen, I love Brad Miller, but not an everyday guy. Oh God, Didi was on that team. Like, Jesus. Point is, this team is much more well constructed to have guys step up and be a different guy every night. And that's what we saw today. In terms of other pitching, you had Sir Anthony and pitch a scoreless inning, and you had not Christian Vasquez. Sorry, that's the catcher for the Twins. Andrew Vasquez threw an inning, a hit, an earned run, which was that solo home run to Pena in the 8th inning. And then you had Junior Marte with an inning, pitching the 8th inning, the bottom of the 9th. 1 inning, 1 hit, and a strikeout. He's looked pretty good since being recalled. I like the way that Thompson, and I talked about this before, I feel like Topper didn't really put him in situations to win and be productive in the bullpen. So Marte looked really good, which is great. You just need to build the Kevin Long statue now. And for those of you who don't know, Kevin Long is the Phillies hitting coach who is widely renowned by a lot of MLB people as the best hitting coach in baseball. He's that's what got he's one of Bryce's favorite people. It's what got Kyle Schwarber here. It's what got Trey Turner here. People want to work with him. And you look at what he did with Brandon Marsh, what he's done with Alec Bohm, what he's doing with Christian Pache before he got hurt, what he's doing with Cody Clemens right now, what he's doing with Edmundo, what he did and is doing with Edmundo Sosa. No matter what, whoever this guy touches turns to gold immediately. I don't know what it is. I don't care what it is. He needs just build the Kevin Long statue, and he needs a lifetime contract until he is good and ready to die and ride off into the sunset. I never want to see Kevin Long go. They obviously signed him to a contract extension after the World Series run, but I need Kevin Long to stay in Philly for as long as possible or have a group of disciples that he's like, this is what you do, and just have them branch off and just be, great and whatever. But I cannot everybody in a team is important, but I don't think you can name a better, more important coach in baseball right now than Kevin Long is to the Phillies, because he has just turned it around. He's turned Marsh into an all-star caliber center fielder. He's turned Edmundo Sosa into what Phillies could possibly have an everyday third baseman if they decide to stick Bohm at first. Long term, they could possibly have an everyday third baseman. Christian Pache has looked like a excellent bench player, obviously, before he got hurt. And Cody Clemens is starting to swing a hot bat. It's awesome to see. But I think my main story that I want to take away from game 2 is Zach Wheeler. And to kind of piggyback off of what I said about Aaron Nola, it's very important that these guys get right. In order for this baseball team to succeed, these two guys need to be on the top of their game. And this series showed the national media saying, hey, guys, remember us? Like Zach Wheeler, Aaron Nola, co-aces. You guys remember that conversation we had? We're back, maybe. I've said it before. I need to see a little bit more out of Nola. Not to discourage anything that he did in his start. I think I want to see one or two more starts similar to this to be like buying all the way back in on Aaron Nola. And Zach Wheeler, I feel like, has gotten better in every single one of his start. I think this honestly was his strongest start just because his stuff looked back compared to him struggling. You look at that White Sox start, or you look at his start against Cincinnati, or was that his last? It was the Mariners? When was his last start? Mariners. Anyway, compared to his last start, it just felt like he was more back and less struggling to get through and less like fighting to get the 6 innings. And it just felt clean and easy, like a Zach Wheeler start we've come accustomed to. So it was really great to see that. So now moving on to game 3, the Phillies lost 4-3, quite literally like 5 minutes ago. The Phillies were going for the sweep, and Bailey Falter kind of struggled with his command early. He threw 28 pitches in the first inning, had bases loaded, no outs, only got out of it, allowing the 1 run on a Jose Abreu RBI fielder's choice, which is huge because with that Astros lineup and how deep that is, that inning easily could have spiraled out of control, but Falter shut it down, was trying to pound the zone, and that's tough for him because he's a strike thrower. He's not a guy who's going to try to trick you or anything. He's going to pound the zone. Here's my stuff. Hit it if you can. Good luck. So it was good to see him do that, and then followed by a Crawford box home run by JT Realmuto, which was great to see. I honestly thought it was a lazy fly ball with the way the angle was and the way he kind of swung up on it. I'm like, oh, this is an out. That sucks. But no, he was able to get into one. Then you had my least favorite player in baseball, Martin Maldonado, had an RBI double, and this is kind of not controversial, but like maybe it could be. So to start in the second inning, the ESPN broadcast decided to talk to Kyle Schwarber. Obviously, the player has to agree to it. And Schwarber was like, yeah, fine. They're talking. There was possible miscommunication between Brandon Marsh in center and Kyle Schwarber in left, where the ball, I forget who hit it, but they were converging in between. While Schwarber was talking to the ESPN guys, Marsh, I believe, thought that Schwarber was calling the ball and kind of eased up a little bit when in reality he was just talking, and Marsh, the ball popped right out of his glove. And then Falter actually battled really well, got the next 2 outs until Martin Maldonado hit a ball over Castellanos' head to give the Astros a 2-1 lead. And you could see how visibly upset that Brandon Marsh was. He was so mad at himself because that's a play he makes 9 out of 10 times. And it just so happens that this was the one time he didn't make it. And, and that ended up being the difference in this game. And it sucks, but that's just the reality of baseball. You forget about it. It's whatever. Jake Myers had a solo home run in the 4th. And then Cody Clemens again had a home run in the 5th to make it 3-2. And Kyle Tucker, also one of my least favorite players in baseball, had an RBI single, another bloop little dinky hit to make it 4-2. And then I have death taxes, Bailey Falter getting killed by bloop hits, because that was kind of a death by paper cuts in the 5th inning for him. You had the walk to Bregman, and then Jordan hit this absolute little squibber down the third base line, and then Tucker with a little bloop single. So And then you had JT Realmuto had an RBI single in the eighth, and you thought they were kind of battling back, but they had plenty of opportunities. I'm not sure how many runners they left on, but I felt like every single inning the Phillies had a chance to get some runs on the board, and they failed. And that's just a shame because this game, it was close. It was 4-3. It was a very good game. It just felt like the Phillies could have won this game. It wasn't one of those games where the Phillies lost and you're like, well, it's just one of those games where nothing really went their way or whatever. They had plenty of opportunities. They just could never get the big hit. It kind of sucks. In terms of pitching, you had Bailey Falter went 4 1/3, 8 innings or 8 hits, 4 earned runs, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. Not a very good start for Bailey Falter. Connor Brogdon went an inning and 2/3, no hits, no earned runs, no walks, and a strikeout. Gregory Soto had an inning and a strikeout, and Luis Ortiz had an inning under his belt as well. So you didn't have to use any of the main guys. I mean, I guess Soto is, but he hasn't worked in a few days. So it was good to see him out there. It looked really sharp, and it's just been unreal since the beginning of the season. And I've talked about that time and time again that Gregory Soto has looked out of his mind, which is really, really good. And then, it was a tough game to watch because of like I said, the blown opportunities and everything. And one of my keynotes is I hate Martin Maldonado. I do not like him. I think he's a cocky baseball player with no merit to back that up. I understand he's great defensively, but to get killed by that guy offensively is kind of a shot in the where to as Phillies fans, because you're like, oh my God, this guy's hitting like a buck, whatever, and he killed us tonight offensively. Uh, Interviewing players mid-game is stupid. That's my official statement. I know they get paid for it, but nevertheless, like, come on, can we not do this? Because I feel like every time like something goes wrong, and it's just so frustrating to see. Oh my God. Okay, I'm sorry, Matt Saporsky. Close your ears. Can ESPN just like stop showing the Yordan Alvarez home run? Can like we grow up and stop watching the Yordan Alvarez home run? Because I felt like they were just rubbing it in. They showed that home run so many times during this broadcast. There was 3 things that they talked about on this broadcast. It was the fact that Bailey Falter's extension when he pitches creates deception for the hitter. I get it. Okay. I get it, because you want to know why? Because when we had Sunday Night Baseball at the beginning of the season, when Bailey Falter was starting, guess what they were talking about? Oh, Bailey Falter's deception. You see it's 91, but it actually looks like it's 95. I get it, okay? I get it. We don't need to go into it any more than we already have. Secondly, was the Yordan Alvarez home run. Okay, just stop. Just stop showing the Yordan Alvarez home run, okay? It is soul crushing in the moment. It's soul crushing now. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I never, ever, 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 ever want to relive that moment ever again. And ESPN had to hold me down, tie me to a chair, and goes, guess what, idiot? You're going to watch it 6 times. Oh, and guess what? You're trying to watch the game. Oh, that's cute. We're going to keep showing it in between pitches because screw you. That's why. Because screw you. You're going to have to sit there and watch it. You guys remember when Yordan Alvarez hit the game 6 home run off Jose Alvarado that we need to show 10 times? Do you guys remember that? Hey, Philly, do you remember that? You remember when Yordan Alvarez ripped out your heart? You guys remember that in this World Series rematch? Do you guys remember that? Okay. Yeah, we do. It's something that I will never forget. I've told this story 1,000 times. I will never forget where I was for the Yordan Alvarez home run. I made a TikTok about it. I'll tell you this story. This is where I was during the Yordan Alvarez home run. In my living room, it was me, it was my mother, it was my brother. I was sitting on the couch I've sat in every single game. My brother was there, my mother, everybody was in their same spots. And I'm watching this game, and Wheeler's doing his thing, and then Wheeler gets pulled, which again, that's the controversial thing. And then you bring in Jose Alvarado. And I understand the move, Rob. I get the move of going to Jose there. And then Yordan hits the home run. I look at my phone. I said, okay. Put my phone away, got my charger, went upstairs, sat on my bed. Ashlyn was laying in the bed with me. And she looked at me and said, are you okay? And I said, yep. Yep, I'm good. She's like, what happened? I'm like, Phillies lost. She's like, she looked concerned. And then I broke down in tears afterwards. So thank you, ESPN, for making me relive that moment time and time again tonight. So really appreciate you on that one, bud. Anyway, moving on. The Phillies go to LA to take on the Los Angeles Dodgers. So the pitching matchups are as followed. It's Taijuan Walker, Matt Strom, and Aaron Nola in that order. The only confirmed pitcher we have on the Dodgers side is Tony Gonsolin. He's going to go tomorrow for them. The two pitchers that we're probably going to face is Julio Urias and Dustin May. I don't know if it's going to be Dustin May and then Urias or Urias and then Dustin May. I'm not sure either way, but this isn't the same Dodgers team. This is not the same Dodgers juggernaut that we've seen in years past. Kind of take advantage of that. You have potentially Bryce Harper returning, which fingers crossed for that one. But again, like I said, this is not the same Dodgers team that we've seen in years past. So try to take one or two out there. It'll be huge. You know, the Phillies are riding a series win streak right now. So let's keep the good vibes going. I'm going to be back on Wednesday night after that game to recap that, but that's going to do it for me. Like I said, we'll be back Wednesday night. I don't know if I'm going to post this tonight or tomorrow morning, probably tonight because I just want to get everything done. But thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to listen to all the other episodes in the playlist or, follow me on all socials and everything. And thank you guys again for watching, and we will see you on Wednesday.